all. So today I'm in a bike fitting studio and we will be talking about gravel bikes and bike fitting. And today I'm in the Stoff studio and we will be doing the bike fitting of my friend Dan and his gravel bike. And I want to do like the video about the explanation that there's like some difference between bike fitting gravel bike and road bike, and also like hear some tips from Stoff how to do this properly and on what you should focus when you're doing your bike fitting, and why bike fitting for gravel bikes and like bikepacking it's also important. What are we doing today?
Today we're doing a quick bike fit for Dan. He's on his gravel bike and he's having some issues, so I think it's good that we just start afresh and go through the body, make sure that we can fit him on the bike and make sure that he can sit within the limitations, and we'll adjust the bike as much as we can to get him comfortable and yet efficient at the same time.
And there's like any difference between like road bike fitting and gravel fitting?
Yeah, so obviously on a road bike you want to sit a little bit more deeper, more aerodynamic. You want to be as efficient as possible. On a gravel bike there's a lot more that goes into it, so you want to be able to achieve all the things I've just mentioned, but control is the biggest thing you want to look at. So you don't want to be too far as on a road bike. You want to be a little bit closer, that way you can still get deep, but you have a little bit more control. When you're trying to turn a bike, a little bit more leverage is good. So a little bit more shorter reach, but still, if his body allows, get him into a nice, comfortable, efficient aerodynamic position. We'll see how it goes. Oh, your brakes are the other way around. Sit bones.
Yes.
It's super important for your foundation. So you can just sit on that looking at the wall with the bones in your bum. So you want to sit with your pelvis nice and straight. Give it a bit of a wiggle. Sit still. 118, 115, and 115. So the 155 wide saddle that you had is definitely too wide.
Yeah, and can you...
That one's probably too narrow.
Too narrow? Oh, okay.
So you're in between it. So you're going to look at, so go 115.
Yeah.
That's the bones in your bum. So you want to be able to sit on those.
Yeah.
And on this actual saddle, not that much place where you can get supported.
Yeah.
If you're sitting over here, you'll be really still and you'll have very little hip movement.
Yeah.
Because you're locked into the saddle.
But then like these 2 points should be touching the saddle.
It should be on the saddle.
Really?
You want to be on the bones. Stand on your right leg and get your balance. And then just do a small squat. Go back up, do it again. And one more time. Yeah, cool. So you can stand normally, get your balance, and then do the other leg. Just do your squats. Okay, that's fine. This side's a little bit more unstable than the right side. The right side is the problem side. You just need to see why it is.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be more bike related than body related. You're quite strong, probably from all the running history in the background, and also being more of an endurance athlete.
Yeah.
Fatigue takes longer to set in,
Yeah.
so you should be able to carry a natural position for longer. Okay, so just relax your legs. I'm not going to stretch you. We're just going to have a quick look at how your body moves, how your legs move, and all that. So I'm just going to lift your leg up, just relax it, nice and flexible. So anything between 50 and 70 degrees is full range of motion. You've got like zero limitation on your hamstring. It starts tightening up there, but that's not really any issue.
Yeah, I've been told before that I'm
Hyper flexible.
what's the like double jointed sort of.
Yeah, it's just like there was no resistance there.
Yeah.
So 70 degrees. So you're on the upper side of flexibility, which is great for cycling,
Yeah.
bad for when you're trying to stretch. Have a seat and relax your feet on there. Yeah, just like that. You can just keep them like that for a bit. Keep your knees a little bit in. Lift your feet up. So completely up off the plate. Yeah. Yeah, are your feet cold? Yeah, drop it. Can't really see. Yeah. But if you can see that there's not a lot of support in the foot. You definitely need at least a high arch support.
Okay.
That'll stabilize your foot. You can't really see it this side, but pressure points like that is a dead giveaway that
Yeah.
there's movement inside the shoe. The foot's moving a lot.
Yeah.
This is the right side,
These
this is the
shoes
side where the
are
problem
quite
is.
loose, I would say, compared to my other ones.
Let's have a look at the
Spacious.
inside of this one. This side is a little bit more movement. You can see it's completely collapsing, but you don't have that much pressure there. And that's the side where the issue is. So I think inside the shoe itself, stabilizing the foot will really help.
And right now you're connected to Matrix.
Yeah, now you're entering the matrix. Out the gear, too easy to light, too heavy. Right, this will capture exactly what you're doing in real time. If you're looking at the screen in front of you, you can see this thing over here. That's what your knee is doing, but it's going up and down, back and forth.
That's like lateral movement.
Yeah, so if you move pedal with your knee out a little bit, you'll see it will start moving.
Yeah.
So ideally your knee's pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah, but let's see. Be on your toe, so you're pointing your toe a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. You're going to be a little bit close to the 95. The most important one is your knee extension. Between 42 and 32 degrees is optimum height. You're quite low, but your ankle's quite high, so something's not lining up correctly. The saddle pressure mapping. There's 64 sensors in this mat. Really cool.
Amazing.
You can actually use it inside here, or you can even use it like on a velodrome or while you're riding outside, so it's super cool. With this we can capture exactly the pressure points on the saddle and allow you to determine whether you're sitting on the sit bones, over the sit bones. You can also see if there's any movement or an imbalance, whether you're sitting more on the left side, right side, or over the saddle.
Yeah.
Super handy device. Sometimes just changing a saddle height can allow you to sit on the right place on the saddle. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when we throw this on.
Yeah.
Cool. Hold on to the bars and stand up. Slide this guy on here. Okay, have a seat. Yeah, that's how the pressure shifts. That's pretty much all. Ideally what you want is 2 pressure points on the widest part of the saddle.
Yeah.
Grey running through the middle. That shows you that there's circulation and blood flow.
Yeah.
And also pressure on the sit bones where the saddle's too narrow.
Okay.
We sort of knew that.
Yeah.
It's just nice to confirm it. Let's capture the left side. It's nice to compare the left and the right of the bike fit in your position. That way we can very easily see an imbalance or what we need to pay attention to. Stop pedaling. Hold on really tight. And this is the best part of the bike fit. I'm going to do a 180 degree spin with you. So hold on tight. We're going to turn clockwise. You ready?
Yeah.
That's why people come. Okay. You can just start riding. Get comfortable. Something that's
Can't see the screen anymore.
no good. You shouldn't see what's going on. Something that's interesting for me is when I look at the back of you, you really shift it off the right side. Look at the back there, you can see it's sitting completely twisted. But here's the biggest difference, and you could physically see that when you were sitting on the saddle, you were sitting more on this side,
Yeah.
so you were sitting this way. As you can see, your left knee is 11 millimeters more backwards than your right knee. So you completely turn like that.
So what by backwards you mean like behind the pedal?
Yeah, so you're sitting
Like
like this.
Yeah. Okay.
You completely turned on the bike like that. Problems most likely your saddle and your cleats. So those two need to change.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm going to do at the same time is reduce your reach a little bit
Yeah.
to take a straight arm more relaxed. That should take some stress off the neck, shoulders, everything, and just give you more control, especially on gravel.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes in. Quick warning, it's going to feel extremely high because you're not used to it.
Yeah.
As soon as you sit on the bike, it's going to feel way better because the saddle is going to support your weight.
Yeah.
As you're standing right now, all the pressure is going to go into your foot, so it's going to collapse and fall in.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're on the bike, the saddle will support you. just going to rotate the handlebar into a more neutral position and then move the hips back up. Gravel, yeah, I think 42 is a nice size.
Yeah, I would imagine you'd assume sort of the most comfortable is just like when you're...
Same as you.
Yeah, width is your shoulder.
Yeah. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's first see where you're sitting. Let's see what happens. Sit a little bit further back on tunnel.
The yellow is more pressure, is it?
Yeah, so you're finding 2 pressure points. It's not ideal yet, but at least you don't have that horrific amount of pressure in between the sit bones.
So how are you feeling right now?
Much
Good?
better. Yeah, good.
Great.
The last little bit of the bike fit is to capture the measurements, changes, document them. It's really nice to always have a consistent way of measuring it. And we do that with this. It's called zinning the bike. So we're gonna swing our magic wand around it and just take these exact measurements that are always consistent. So we first build the frame of the bike, and then after that it can measure the heights of the handlebar, the reach, saddle height, angle of the saddle, and all those things. Okay. After bike fit we ride, and then we do a follow-up. It's good to come back just to double check everything to make sure that the changes we made in the studio translate to real world situations. It doesn't always work, so it is nice to do a follow-up bike fit. Follow-up bike fit I think is almost as important as the original bike fit. That's so often overlooked. People do a bike fit and they think, okay cool, I've spent my 2 hours in the studio, I can just never come back. I feel it's super important that you maintain the relationship with the bike fitter or the shop you've had it at, and that you go back, and then if you have another bike, we can also translate those measurements that we already had today and then apply it to the next bike easier, because we've already done the body assessment, so it saves you time and get you into a similar position. It won't be identical, but within your body's limitations. Yeah, so Dan's bike today, our mission was to get him ready for his bikepacking trip. Success, we've done that. Changed his saddle. Previous saddle was too narrow, his other saddle was too wide. He was sitting completely off the side of the bike, causing knee pain on the right side. He's sitting straight, everything's resolved. We've planned a follow-up, but I'm sure he won't even need it. So that was a good session, super important, but yeah, we did a good amount of work stabilizing him.